Hi guys, are you curious about how is the life of a pianist in LA? Today we will see about this with a special guest. Hello everybody, today we are here with a pianist and composer from LA, Gisel Costa. Hi Gisel.
Hi everyone, how are you?
I'm very good. And Gisel is also much more than a pianist and composer. She lives in the US, in Los Angeles, so we are on the other side, on two different sides of the world. And also thanks to this pandemic situation, we met virtually online, and we got in touch. And the main reason is that also Giselle is very active online, and now she will tell us soon more about it. And personally, I really like how she structures her activity, how she shares his passion for music. She's also very active on the teaching aspect. So today we will have a quick overview about this. Now, without further ado, just I will do one question to Giselle. Giselle, tell us a little bit about you and about your background.
So I was born and raised in New Jersey, close by New York. Literally, New York was like across the river, and music has always been my main outlet. When it comes to composition, whenever I needed like a creative outlet, I always played the piano. I just sat down and I just like kind of just let it out. It was until I went to college that I started writing down my compositions, and I started teaching too. I also teach piano, voice, and I've started to teach songwriting as well. And all of that has been so rewarding. And one of the most coolest thing I've been doing lately is writing books based on music history and apps too. And then I also got into music theory, which I also have a YouTube channel dedicated to that. Okay, so I've been doing a lot when it comes to music.
Very good. It's also very interesting because I saw that what you wrote are not just books, but they are more interactive. Do you want to tell us more about this idea you had for the books that are designed for kids mainly, and about your YouTube channel? Because I saw that in the months you are uploading consistently a lot of content. So tell us how you decided to structure this activity.
So with the kids, just being a music teacher out here in New Jersey, New York, and now in LA, I noticed that there wasn't that many resources when it comes to music history for kids. And a lot of the kids, they have their moments, they don't want to practice, it's okay. They inspired me to write those books. I illustrated them. I also developed an app, 3 apps for them, and they are all based on music time periods: the Baroque period, the classical period, and the romantic period. And each of those books kind of explore a little bit about the period, so to give some insight for the kids to understand a little bit more about the music history. So when they learn about Bach, they know it's from the Baroque period. So I noticed that a lot of the kids struggled a little bit understanding, so that's what inspired me to like really get into that. And also when it comes to the YouTube channel, Music Theory, I wanted it to be tailored for also parents that have no musical background and need to help their students or their
This is a
kids.
very important point. Okay.
Yeah, so that inspired me, and I understand if there's like frustration with parents, and it's totally not their fault. It's just they don't understand how to go about it. So I wanted to use those YouTube channel as kind of like their source to go to. I also made these little workbooks. If like let's say a child just needs to like do more exercises or need more help, I wanted to be that person for them.
Okay, and till now, how has been the feedback about from kids for this activity?
So when I did the books, when I brought the books to the lessons, they loved it. Because I had the pictures, they liked the paintings that I painted for them on the pictures, and I also emphasize a lot on practice. I'm like, Bach became Bach because he really practiced.
Okay,
He
but
practiced every day.
this is really interesting. So, just because this is interesting, we can have a bigger overview. Of course, I am used to European standards, how are things in Italy mainly and now in Malta. And how is the music scene now in LA, since now you moved there, even though it's just a few months? And how is the music scene for a pianist like you, but also for a piano teacher? So
It's
how
okay.
is working over there?
Well, at the moment, everything is like on pause, on
Yes. Oh.
frozen. Unfortunately, a lot of musicians out here during the COVID, they're unemployed. Most of them have been making their finances by creating music, producing, just being super active on online um, platforms. So that, thank God for that. And I
Yes.
noticed that too, that that's where everyone has been like um, going to support other musicians with their music. Pianists out here have been teaching constantly, um, and just performing on live on Instagram. I feel like currently that's mostly what's happening here. Um, all the venues have been closed due to the COVID, so that really affected a lot of like touring performers, um, and just like the experience too. Like we can't have that here right now. But prior to that, it was a lot of it was very colorful. It's so many different genres out here, and it's amazing to like really explore that, hear everyone's original pieces, and then also like delve into like everyone's culture as well, which is also a beautiful experience out here. And there's a lot of venues that really support that. And I wish we were able to do that right now.
I can imagine. And one thing that I really like in you is that you didn't let yourself down, let's say, but you continued to create, to be active, as I already said. And despite the complicated period, you also recently released a new single. So this means that you are very, very alive, musically speaking. So, do you want to tell us about this new single? Since I am also working on some new upcoming release that will be out hopefully soon. So, I'm curious to know about this single you released.
Oh wow, I can't wait to hear that. um, well, my single is a piano solo single. It's tailored to relax music. If you need something to just relax you, that's more of what you would hear it. Those are like the playlists the single is going out to. The single is called Intertwining the Heart and the Mind. And I composed this 10 years ago, back in New Jersey. It was like a different phase. You know, everyone kind of grows out of phases. And 10 years ago, I was a different person.
Okay.
So during this time period, I just freestyled it and then I loved it. And then thank God I was recording it. I was able to get back to it and really like start off with like an idea and like started creating a structure for the composition, and it became intertwining the heart and the mind because I was going through, should I follow my heart? Should I follow my mind? And the best way to go about it for me was to find a balance with that. And so that's what this composition is about. It's all piano. You can hear two different piano lines. I'm playing something different than my left hand, which would represent like my heart, and then my right hand would represent like my mind. So you'd hear two different voices going on throughout the composition.
Okay, and for who is following, we remember that it's available on the main digital platforms like on Spotify and iTunes and so on. What did you use for the distribution? Just curiosity, which platform did you use?
I use CD Baby.
Okay.
CD Baby is wonderful. There's so many different distributors. Yes. I heard DistroKid was really good.
Yes, I asked because of course I'm curious to hear from a colleague. And for example, for the C# EP that I released during the quarantine, I used DistroKid. So I was curious to know also about other experiences. And also for my next release, I'm planning to continue using DistroKid. Another question, Giselle, are you working on other releases at the moment, or are you more in a composition phase? What's going on in your music world at the moment?
So at the moment, when it comes to the composition aspect, I do have other compositions I'm working on releasing. I will also be using CD Baby. One thing that I like about CD Baby is the pre-paid promotions with Spotify. But I heard a lot of great things too about DistroKid, so that's also another great distributor. But I'm thinking of just sticking to CD Baby, still trying it out. I've been working on. I didn't talk about my sample packs.
Yes, so, mention it because it's another. It's another interesting thing.
So this is completely new to me. So my boyfriend is a sound designer for this company, Splice, and we have been releasing sample packs. And this is tailored to producers, film composers, and anyone who just needs sounds or like loops, one shots. Really, this was different for me because I'm used to like playing a little more intricate, but it's probably like 2 bars, 2 measures of like a loop that any producer or any producer can use. So that's what it's more tailored to. It's completely different. Production is a whole other ball game, and it was just fascinating to get into and learn a lot about it.
Okay, and for sure it's a big learning experience. I never done something like that. I mean, I did only for my own activity, so sampling something that I needed to use for a composition or live. But I think to design professionally a sample sound pack is is a pretty extended activity. And tell me. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
It was a collaboration. I played the sounds, I performed it, and the collaboration was with my boyfriend, Doug. You can also find him on Instagram at Percussion Gun. Okay. He sound designed it, so like I would play it and he would like tweak it and like made it sound even prettier, or like add extra effects.
Okay.
Or get rid of like room sound, or he'll do stuff like that. I don't know how to do that part. but it's been fun and interesting to see like someone who also knows how to do that do it.
Okay, now the next step would be to create a composition using your own sample sample
Yeah.
pack. Or maybe it can be a challenge. I can try to create something with that. With that sample pack,
True.
actually, we can think about it. Can be
Oh yeah,
a juicy idea, you know? We can think
totally.
about it. And also,
Wow.
Giselle, you see here a nice pianist, but there is much more. So, can you give us a quick overview on the other side of Giselle?
So the dark side. Just kidding. I have Taekwondo background, martial arts, since I was 5 years old. I've been doing it for 22 years, and it's more my father.
Okay.
My father, when I was younger, he really and it was me and my two other sisters. He really wanted all of us to be black belts and like really like know how to defend ourselves. So thanks to him, I got into martial arts. I had a really big love for it. Um, I've competed. I was a Big East champion when I was 18. I've judged for tournament events. I also taught Taekwondo for like a short period, like I'd say like 10 years ago. It's been a while.
So, besides martial arts, you also practice a lot yoga. Is correct this, right?
Yes, I love yoga. Yoga, believe it or not, has been something a little new for me. I got into it 2 years ago, like really, like more seriously, like really got into yoga. And that's also another outlet. It was a very like, that's another intertwining the heart and the mind kind of like outlet where I felt like always at peace at the end of the class. And it's been fun. I loved like the challenging poses, but then I like the meditative aspects of it where I can just relax and like get into my space.
Now I will
Oh, by the
surprise
way,
you. I will surprise you because Ozu, she's really passionate about yoga, as we were discussing. And so I also started to do a little bit yoga. And I became really a pro, in particularly in one position. And this position is Shavasana. I'm a very good. Above all, at the end of the sessions, everyone is saying, "Ah, but how good you are in doing that." Okay. So now, going back a little bit to the music side, do you want to share with us a little bit more your background in the terms of you have your, let's say, traditional training, classical training, but for example, now you created a sound sample pack, you compose your own music. So, which was for you during the years the evolution of your music journey?
oof. So for me, I started playing the piano when I was 3 years old. My parents, my father's father, my grandpa,
Your grandpa.
he was able to get a piano. So because of him, he had given it to my dad, and so because of that, I was able to like play the piano. And I had an older sister who would sit down and start playing, so I would want to like play too because I saw my big sister doing it. I have to do it now.
Okay.
Um, so I guess starting there was like the beginning of something that I would have never known even now. Like I would be pursuing. I felt like let's say almost every 7 or 10 years of my life, there was like this weird transformation. I started composing when I was 10 years old, but it was more just sitting on the piano and just playing. It wasn't like really writing it. I didn't really have a proper training until college.
Okay.
So when it was college, it was more classical, and then it emerged to my compositions. I started focusing more on my compositions around then too. So I guess around my college years is when that also tweaked another journey that even now, like today, I feel like last week, that was my first single. That's a new journey.
But this is
For me.
a really important, these are really important steps. So, and I'm sure that all your teaching experience, creating so many videos for YouTube, has a huge impact, because when we are creating content, in this case for YouTube, we have to think about what we are saying, why we are telling things, and we have also a responsibility. In your case, mainly for beginners. In my case, I do, as you saw, videos about analysis, overview of classical music compositions that are usually advanced, or videos about the use of music workstation. So it's a different type of content creation, but is an activity that first, for all of you that you are watching, it's really time consuming and really it's really challenging. So when you see a 10-minute videos, usually how much we can say of work there is in the background, Gisel, between film shooting, editing, fixing stuff.
How do I do it all? I even ask myself that question sometimes. Like,
this is a good point, not asking ourselves. By the way, there are a lot of hours. So, Giselle, I think that this chat was really interesting and also inspiring, at least for me, because it's always nice to see how another artist in the same field is moving in this world, and we know it's very challenging. So it's not easy every day to say, okay, now I do music. So a big shout out also for Giselle. Follow her on her Instagram, where she's very active, her YouTube channel, and also her website, which is giselcosta.com, right?
Gisel A. Costa.
Gisel A. Costa.
A represents my middle name.
Okay, your middle name, which is?
Angelica.
Angelica. Okay. So, and Angelica is also an Italian name, like your surname.
Yeah, I do have Italian heritage on my mom's side.
Bye, Giselle.
Bye, Leo. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Enjoy your night.
Thank you. You too. Bye. That's all I have for today. I hope you found interesting this chat. If you liked this video, hit the like button and consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And see you to the next episode.